Welcome back to Ferris Sports Update. Time to check in with Bulldog Volleyball, joined by head coach Tia Brandel-Wilhelm. Coach, welcome back to the show.
Okay, thanks for having us here.
Obviously, congratulations on another great regular season, 5th straight GLIAC Championship. And I know it was hard to pull this one out, but still a great season here in the regular season for your team.
Yeah, we're really excited. The players, obviously we're very happy to win the championship, and it was a different year. Every year is a little bit different, and this year it really came down to our last weekend of play and being able to play well on that weekend. So it was kind of neat to have like that championship atmosphere, but still be in the last weekend of the regular season.
Obviously, this past weekend, two strong opponents from the Upper Peninsula, and you had Michigan Tech coming in first, and you knew they were going to be a very tough opponent. Just talk about them coming in, and maybe not the last time you'll see them this year.
Well, probably not, no. Michigan Tech they just have such a dynamic offense, and they have a strong offense on both pins, both sides of the net there. So it is, it's just a lot to prepare for, and a lot to have to worry about defending. And they're also, they're pretty aggressive blocking at the net too. So, and very pursuitful and on defense. So it's really hard to even put a ball down against them. So we just knew that all aspects of the game would be challenged. And, every time we've played them the last few years, it's always been, every set's been a challenge. So we just knew that would be what we'd have Friday night.
As we go to some of the highlights of Friday night's match, how much pressure was it on your team coming in, knowing you had a one-match lead and the second place team was right behind you and playing them the same night?
Yeah, I think it's not even about pressure. It's more about excitement. I mean, this is what you train for. This is what you hope for, is to be in a situation like that. And for sure, it was something that we were excited to be a part of. And, to play such a strong team in Michigan Tech, we knew the challenge was going to be there, and that was something that they were looking forward to.
Obviously a hard-fought win in the first set, 25-21, and you come back here in the second set and really had an outstanding set here to take a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, and you just never know how that's going to go in a game. So the first set was very, very close back and forth early on, and we were just able to pull away just a little bit. So you just never know how that's going to be from set to set. It's such a game of momentum.
Here in the third, talk about maybe what changed from the first time you played Michigan Tech to this time, and how the styles kind of transformed from one match to the other.
I just think both teams are just a lot better than they were. We played about, like 6 weeks ago or something like that, and I just think both teams have worked hard, and you can see that, and both teams have improved a lot, and it says well. I mean, both teams are in the top part of the region, and ranked 1 and 2 in the conference, and I just think it's a good testament to the work that they have done, and it's a testament to the strength of our conference, because teams we have all had to get better to do well in the conference this year.
Came back on Saturday after the big win over Michigan Tech with one final match in the regular season, and it was senior day. Just talk about your two seniors and chance to honor them before the match.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to talk about those two. They're just great kids and incredibly good leaders, and two people who are, you always want your seniors to, you always want them to go out on top, like having had their best season or just to really be at their best. And you certainly are seeing that in both of these players. Katie Plasek has moved to a new position yet again as a senior, as a libero, and is just, works hard and is in the gym extra every week, working hard to be good in that position. And then Kayla Rossman is just, she's been a lot of different things to us through the years, and outside a serving specialist, a DS, and this year she's really cemented herself out there, and she's just a kid who will do anything to help her team be successful. She's, she sits and talks to me before she goes in and subs in, and she's like, what do you need to have happen out there? I'll make sure it happens. And she's just, to have a kid like that as a senior, and to have them be so focused on, they could care less if they ever get anything individually recognition. They really just want the team to do well, and they want to do whatever they can to help the girl next to them be successful. So to have seniors like that, it says so much about our whole program and the culture, and it's just amazing.
Obviously, here on Senior Day, taking on Northern Michigan in a big match here, despite the fact you already clinched the regular season championship.
Yeah, for sure. Anytime, we're trying to do well, in the region and in the conference. So pretty much every match you play at this point is considered a pretty big match. And Northern is such a strong team. They just have some pretty wicked offense again at both pins, a couple outsides and their right side, and some really strong middles. So we knew that it would be very challenging.
Allison Capel with 13 kills to lead you here in this match as you take a 1-0 lead here in the first set, but she had an outstanding weekend named GLIAC Player of the Week.
Yeah, well deserved too. She really did have a good year, and I don't think people understand what an amazing player she is. Like, she's obviously a good offensive player, and people see her hit the ball, and she has to do that against two really big blockers all the time because everyone pretty much sits on her all the time. But she also is such a great defensive player and such a great passer and such a great server and blocker. I mean, she just does all those things. And I just don't think that there are many kids in the country that do the complete game of volleyball like Allison does.
Here against Northern Michigan, second time you've seen them here this season. Just talk about the changes maybe in terms of how they've played against you.
The thing with Northern is they're so much better than their record says. They're such a good team. They play just a little bit emotional sometimes, so if they get on a high, they're pretty formidable and pretty tough to stop. And you certainly saw a little bit of that when we were playing them this weekend.
Had to battle in the second set, went to extra points, 30-28, and how important was that win to get that set?
Either way, we would have been, our team's not going to get fazed by one set. It's not going to throw us on or off of our game plan. We knew we were doing the right things. We just had a couple miscues. They had done a couple, had a couple really great plays. So we weren't, it was great to get it for sure. It's just great to be in, in extra innings and doing good like that. But for us, that one set wouldn't make or break how we felt about how we played the whole night.
This week, the GLIAC tournament, #1 seed, and taking on Wisconsin Parkside Wednesday night, the #8 seed. How important is it to have that home court advantage here in the conference tournament?
For sure. It's so exciting because, we love playing at home. We have such great fans, the student athletes, the students, the faculty and staff, the community members. Like, we just get such a big crowd and such an involved crowd. Like, these players, you definitely feel surrounded by people who care about you for sure when you're out there playing, and there's such great energy in our gym. So we just are loving and excited to be playing at home again.
I know you're not looking ahead, but if you win that, you host the semifinals and finals, and obviously a big week in terms of some of the regional implications with postseason play coming up in the NCAA tournament next week.
Yep, it is. And all we can really do is just try to just take care of our business today and see what happens. It would be, obviously you want to win every game you play, and we would be thinking like that. But for us, it's just, take care of today and see what we can do about tomorrow. And however it falls, we feel pretty good about getting a bid into the postseason because at this point we're ranked second in the region. So we feel pretty good about that. It'll come at some point, and anybody who's in there has a chance to do whatever they want to do. So that'll be our focus.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the GLIAC Championship. Best of luck here in the postseason.
Thanks.
We'll be back with more Ferris Sports Update right after this.